Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, still a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my historical challenge using the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, so we're not doing too good, which was to kind of be expected, brand new expansion team and whatnot. The fact that Tampa Bay in real life did better than Ottawa as an expansion team doesn't necessarily mean that they were really good or anything like that. Just means that they were better than the worst. We're still better than San Jose right now. We did play one more game than them, too, and we suffered a disastrous injury to Brian Bradley. Well, it's not disastrous because it's only 1 to 2 weeks, but it has disastrous repercussions on our offense, which was pretty disastrous to start with. We've been shut out a lot. So I've changed a few things, and some things I decided to keep the same, so I didn't change any player roles or anything like that. I want to give it at least another month before I go through any changes in that regard. I also didn't really change my lines, because I really don't have that much talent to spread around or anything like that, so I'm kind of stuck there. But what I did do is change a lot of my tactics, so we're gonna go with maybe a little bit more up-tempo style for this month and see what's going to happen. Now, of course, the first game on the calendar here in November, we are going to disregard. We are probably going to lose by like 10 goals or something because it's the Pittsburgh Penguins and they are so good. So I am not expecting great things from that game, but past that, I think that there's teams there that we can definitely do something against. I mean, St. Louis is good, but not a powerhouse. Same with Washington, kind of the same with the Islanders. Now the Rangers and Detroit are going to be pretty good. Ottawa, we should have a shot to beat, I would hope. Calgary is good but not crazy good. Winnipeg is okay. Minnesota's pretty good. So we'll see. It looks like it's also going to be a pretty busy month, so I'm going to get started here pretty soon. Only other thing I want to mention is that prior to shooting the video, I did look at players on the trading block, and there is absolutely nothing worth mentioning. I'm trying to look for players that might help us in the future. I don't need to win right now, so I'm looking for maybe younger players with a little bit of an upside, but there was absolutely nothing on the trading block right now. So no trades were offered or anything like that. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and start simming finally. As I just mentioned, Pittsburgh is in town. They are 9-1-1 with 19 points. They are probably the best team in the league right now. I don't know like point-wise, but I mean on paper for sure. Now let's see if they have injuries. Oh, they have a lot of injuries that might help us. So Leo Gudas is hurt, Kevin Stevens, Rick Tocchet, and Jamie Leach, sorry. And then Ulf Samuelsson is hurt, but he might play that game. So there's a lot of injuries, so that might, well, I mean, forget it. They still have Jagger, Lemieux, and Francis. So Tom Barrasso and Ken Reget in net, so that's okay. Brian Fogarty, Grant Jennings, Nelson, Paik, Samuelson, Paul Laus, Larry Murphy, Shel Samuelson, and Paul Stanton on D. Few good players. A lot of one-star defensemen, but of course they have so many injuries. Daniels, Bob Airey, Troy Loney, Dave Tippett, Francis Lemieux, Stapleton, Jagger, Caulfield, McEachern, Mullen, and Mick Vukota. So, alright. Well, the D is... I don't know what to expect from that game. I just expect we're gonna get completely crushed. So I have Wendell. I'm gonna have Wendell Young in net for that one. All right. So like I said, I didn't change my lines or anything like that. I'm keeping it that way. I might change them after this month. And we're still gonna try to give Jason Lafreniere a shot at center. I really just don't have talent. First line talent past Brian Bradley, and he's the one who's hurt, so Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and face Tom Barrasso in net, and we are going to be going with Wendell Young. And we lost 9-1, so I was pretty close when I said that we would lose by 10 goals. We lost by 8. Alright, so Pittsburgh completely outshot us 49-20 in that game. Bob Harry was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Larry Murphy was the second star with a goal and 3 assists. And Joe Mullen was the third star with 2 goals and an assist. We did manage to get 10,418 people in attendance for that game. That's the first time we cracked 10,000, I think. Alright, so Pittsburgh scored twice in the first period. And then they scored in the second period, made it 3-0. And then we scored our lone goal. It was Rob Zamuner scoring from Rob DeMaio and Brent Gretzky. It was 3-1 Pittsburgh at that time. And then Pittsburgh scored again before the end of the period, made it 4-1. And then we ran out of gas with our up-tempo style in the third period, and the Pittsburgh Penguins just destroyed us with 5 goals, and they ran away with a 9-1 victory. Alright. Alright. Despite the bad performance in this season, in general, Takashi Okubo is satisfied with your work as general manager of the Lightning. So we went 2-9-2, including last night's game. So he feels like I'm doing a good job right now. Well, I'm not doing a good job of washing my mouth. I still have like that weird thing going there. I don't know if it's piercings or what. In 1992, piercings like that, those were not as common as they are now in 2020, that's for sure. Alright, so we have a day off, and then we're going to be hosting the St. Louis Blues. So we're going to go ahead and sim this game, this day, sorry. Well, we will be simming the game, but... Alright, so Al McInnes has a great game. He had 4 assists against the Canucks. Pretty good game. Alright, so those players are getting used a little bit more to the team. Alright, and now St. Louis is in town. St. Louis is not doing all that great. They are 4-6-2. That's good for 9th in the Campbell Conference. We have played St. Louis once this season, and we lost 4-2 against them. So let's see if we can beat them now that we are going to be at home. Alright, so we are going to be facing Guilbert, and we are going to send Wendell Young in net for that one. Oof. We lost 8-0. Alright, so we're still having problems generating offense. So that at this point it might be personnel, it might be the lines or something. So I'm gonna definitely look at that after this month here. We were outshot 49-26. Guilbert was the first star of the game. He had 26 saves in the shutout. Dave Laurie was the second star with a goal and 3 assists. And Nelson Emerson was the third star with 2 goals and 2 assists. We had a lot less people in attendance for that game. We had 8,897. Alright, so St. Louis scored 3 times in the first period. They were up 3-0 after 1. And then we had Mike Hartman and Garth Butcher get into a fight into the first period. And in the second period, we allowed 3 more goals. And then we had a much better third period where we only allowed 2 goals this time. Alright, so 8-0. Yeah, we got shellacked here. Alright, so Joe Rickey has converted to right defense. Like I said, I don't have a lot of right shots as far as defensemen go, so I had to put a few left shots there. And I remember as a kid listening to an interview in French that they did with Ray Bourque, where they were saying that for some reason a left-handed defenseman playing on the right side does better than a right-handed defenseman playing on the left side for some reason, and Ray Bourque seemed to agree with that, but he couldn't explain why, and that's what I remember. That could be wrong, I don't know, I'm just saying. So anyway. I'm just saying that's something I remember from my past. Oh, Craig Simpson extends his goal streak to 5 games. He got a goal against Ottawa. Alright, so Caulfield, Jay Caulfield, and Grant Jennings are on waivers. So I guess Pittsburgh got some players come back from injury and everything. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to claim any of those guys. I don't think they fit what I need. I need younger players that can help the team in the medium future, I would say. Strong night for Mike Gartner, who had a hat-trick against the Flyers. Pretty good game. And Michel Petit is suspended in Calgary. He's going to miss 7 games. So the suspensions are pretty severe again in this version of the game. Let's see if we can break our record. I think my record in Franchise Hockey Manager 6 was a 15-game suspension, and I believe it was Sergei Fedorov that got it too. Alright, so one more day to sim, and then we're going to be on the road for a little bit. Alright, so suspension for Dirk Graham in Chicago. He's going to miss 2 games. And for Chris Chelios as well, in that same game, he's going to be suspended for 3 games. Wow, that was a pretty violent game, I suppose. Kevin Stevens extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal against the Blues. And Brad May was looked at in Buffalo, but he is not being suspended. So it looks like there's a lot of suspensions again in this version of the game. More than seems accurate, I would say. Maybe it's just, you know, confirmation bias or anything. I don't have hard numbers to provide or anything like that. Alright, so we are now in Washington to play against the Capitals, so that should be a team that's within our reach, at least if we look at their record there. They are 3-9-1, so the Capitals are also struggling. We're going to take a look at their lineup because we haven't played them yet, and they have Sylvain Côté that's hurt, so that's one of their good defensemen, at least he should be. Yeah, 3-star defenseman, that's pretty decent. But he's hurt and not going to play this game. So Don Beaupré and Olaf Kolzig in net, that should be pretty good. Don Beaupré is still probably considered in his prime, and Kolzig's getting there in terms of talent. On D, we have Anderson, Aya Friday, Kelly Johansson, Slaney, Woolley, Kevin Hatcher. So there's some decent defensemen and some defensemen that are not as good. And then we have Randy Burridge, Dimitri Ristich, Connor Wolchuk, Todd Krieger. That should be Kevin Miller, Bobby Carpenter, Dale Hunter. Oh, no, they have the 2 Millers there. So one is Kevin and one is Kelly. So Kelly, and that should be Kevin. Yeah. Mikhail Pivanka, Mike Ridley, Tim Taylor, Peter Bondra, Patelinuk, Marcus Foligno, and is that Mark Hunter? Yep. Alright, so yeah, it's not the best team we have faced for sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and get us some points here. We need Brian Bradley back, even though he didn't get a lot of points. We just don't have the talent to deal with that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and send Wendell Young in net again. I think we play tomorrow, so I'm going to send Pat Jablonski in net for the second game, and Olaf Kolzig is going to be in net for the Capitals. Oh, we lost 3-2, so we gave them a game, but we just couldn't finish off and win here. So Washington outshot us 32-20. Peter Bondra was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Rob Zamuner was the second star of the game with a goal, and Kelly Johansson was the third star with a goal as well. Right, so the Capitals opened up the scoring in the first period, and it was 1-0 Caps after 1. Then in the second period, early in the second period, Chris Conto scored from Marc Bureau and Ken Hodge, and then Rob Zamuner gave us the lead from Rob DeMaio and Doug Crossman. It was 2-1 for us at that point, but with a little bit more than 5 minutes to go in the second period. The Caps tied the game. It was tied at 2 heading into the third period, and early in the third period the Capitals scored, and that was the last goal of the game. So we ended up losing 3-2. So we played a little bit better, but just couldn't pull it off. Oh, Jason Lafreniere is hurt now. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do something super easy. Oh, medium facial cut. How did he get cut? I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video real quick. I'm gonna fix my lines and I will be right back. I think I'm just gonna slide Bobby Olick and give him first line center duties for a few games and see how he reacts. Again, I just don't have first line talent to put there anyway, so might as well try that. I'll be right back. Alright, and we are back. So I made Bobby Olick a power forward. Now I know in real life Bobby Olick wasn't like a big banger or anything like that. He was just a big guy. Well, he did bang a little bit, I guess, but maybe not as much as people expected because of how big he was. But I don't have a power forward on the team right now, so I decided to make him one. And I've also put Pat Jablonski to start the next game, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so Troy Gamble is on waivers. I'm not gonna pick him up. And then, which Smith is that? Derek Smith. Alright, so not picking those guys up. We are now about to play in New York against the Islanders. So we have not played the Islanders so far this year. They are 9-5 so far this season, so that's a respectable record so far. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at their lineup here. Alright, so Darius Kasparaitis is not going to play this game. He is hurt. As far as the lineup, Mark Fitzpatrick and Glenn Ely in net, so that's okay, but not that great. Jeff Finley, Tom Curver, Scott Lachance, Vladimir Malakov, Wayne McBean, Jeff Norton, and Dennis Vasky on D. That's not the best D there is. Oh, and Uwe Krupp, sorry. Lots of left D. That threw me off a little bit. Bill Berg, Benoit Hogg, Derek King, Mullen, Thomas, Todd, Turgeon, Ferraro, Fitzgerald, Flatley, McInnes, Palffy, and Dalgarno up front. So they have a good record. On paper, this is not the best team. I don't know what it's gonna do to us. Who knows? Maybe Bobby Olick is gonna be the savior. Alright, so Pat Jablonski is going to be in net for us. Mark Fitzpatrick is going to be in net for the Islanders. Ooh, we lost 6-3. So again, we are struggling. It is to be expected, I guess. But I would like to win a little bit more. Oh, so we did get more shots than they did. We outshot the Islanders 40-36 in this game. Derek King was the first star of the game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Zygmunt Palffy was the second star of the game with 2 assists. And Kevin Todd was the third star with 2 assists as well. Oh, look at that. So we scored first. It was a Joe Ricky's goal on the power play from Rob DiMaio and Rob Zamuner. It was 1-0 for us at that point. Then the Islanders tied the game a little bit more than 2 minutes later, but shortly after that, Mark Bureau gave us the lead back, assisted by Ken Hodge, and then Rob Zamuner scored from Joe Ricky and Rob DiMaio. It was 3-1 Tampa Bay after 1, and it looked pretty good for us. But in the second period, the Islanders scored 3 times, made it 4-3 Islanders after 2. And then they scored 2 more times in the third period, and that was a 6-3 affair. Sadly, we could not keep up the pace with them. Oh, there's a lot of news here. Alright, so Jody Gage is available, and so is Rick Lassard. Okay. Derek King has a strong game. As we saw, he had a hat-trick against us. There was no stopping Patrick Poulin of the Hartford Whalers, who had 3 goals and an assist against Washington. Wayne Gretzky set everything up tonight. He had a goal and 4 assists against Buffalo. Good night for Rod Brind'Amour with the Flyers. He had a hat-trick against the Blues. Good night for Doug Gilmour, who also had a hat-trick. He did that against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Open ice leads to a productive night for Mario Lemieux in that same game. He had a goal and 4 assists. And Larry Murphy, also in that same game, had a great game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. And Kevin Stevens also gave it to the Leafs with 2 goals and 2 assists to extend his goal streak to 6 games. And then there was a trade. There was a trade between Pittsburgh and Washington. So Dave Tippett and Brian Bonham are going to the Capitals for Todd Krieger and Eric Lavigne. That's not a trade that's going to go down as the biggest trade. I think Pittsburgh probably got a little bit of the best here. Todd Krieger's a little bit younger than Dave Tippett. But I don't think that it's, a really crazy trade or anything like that. Oh, I'm going to need to put Wendell Young back in. Right, Jeremy Roenick extends his assist streak to 8 games with 2 assists against Pittsburgh. Pretty good. Kevin Stevens extends his goal streak to 7 games. In that same game, he had a goal and 2 assists. Dirk Graham is back from his suspension in Chicago. Kelly Kisio in San Jose is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. And Jason Lafreniere is back. I'm still going to go with Bobby Alec. I tried Lafreniere and he really didn't do anything. So, well, I suppose getting hurt is something. So, yeah, we are going to be facing the Rangers now. Rangers are 10-3-2. That's pretty good. A lot better than us. And we have not played them so far. So let's see here. So James Patrick is hurt, not going to play this game. And also Paul Broughton is hurt and not going to be playing this game. So the Rangers have Mike Richter and John Van Beesbrook in net. So that's pretty solid. Anderson, Leach, Shiryayev. Sorry, not super familiar with that guy. Anderson, Leach, Shiryayev, Bukeboom, Juice, Zubov, Andy. So that's, of course, when you have Brian Leach on D, you have a good D. That's a decent D. Phil Bourque, Eriksson, Graves, King, Randy Gillen, Messier, Nemchinov, Darren Turcotte, Doug Waite, Amante, Broughton, Domi, Gartner, Kosher, and Kovalev. So it's a pretty well-balanced team, and they're probably going to beat us. Right, so we have Wendell Young in net. They are going to go with John Van Beesbrook. And we did win against the Rangers in preseason. Let's see if we can repeat that. We lost 3-2. So another defeat where it was pretty tight and everything. So we'll go ahead and see here. Now the Rangers outshot us 38-20 in that 3-2 Rangers win against us. Mark Messier was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Bobby Alec was the second star. He scored his first NHL goal. And Chris King was the third star with a goal as well. So the Rangers scored twice in the first period. It was 2-0 Rangers after 1. And then nobody scored in the second period. And then in the third period, the Rangers took a 3-0 lead. And then Rob DiMaio scored, assisted by Brent Gretzky. And then Bobby Alec scored his first NHL goal from Rob Ramage and Mikael Anderson. It was 3-2 Rangers at that point with about 8 minutes to go in the third period. But we just couldn't tie the game to bring that to overtime. So it is a 3-2 loss. Ooh, Doug Crossman is hurt. That is not good. That is not good. Okay. I'm going to click on continue, and then we're gonna figure this out. Oh, he's day to day. Okay. Calgary Smith is suspended, so Greg Smith of Calgary is suspended. He's gonna miss 2 games. Todd Gill is also suspended in Toronto. He's gonna miss 1 game. And Brian Bradley is finally starting to feel better. Please come back to us. We need you. Alright, so... Okay, I'm not going to recall somebody. I'm just going to slide Karpovtsev in. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pause and fix my lines, and I will be right back. And we are back again. Alright, so I've made Karpovtsev a mobile defenseman, maybe trying to generate a little bit of puck possession and movement from the back end is going to help our offense and help us out of the basement here. Yeah. And of course, you know, the next team on the calendar is not going to be a cakewalk for sure. Alright, so Brett Hull lights the lamp. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against Edmonton. Pretty good game for the Golden Brett. And Brian Bradley should be back soon. Alright, and now we are going to be playing against the Detroit Red Wings, who are 10-4-1. That's good for 2nd in the Campbell Conference. The Jets are on a tear there. Alright, so that's our first game against Detroit. They have no injuries, so in net it's going to be Tim Chevaldet and Vincent Riendo. Bobby Dallas, Mark Howe, Nick Lidstrom, Brad McCrimmon, Yves Ressin, Steve Chiasson, Vladimir Konstantinov on D, so that's a pretty strong D. Sean Burr, Stuart Gavin, Vyacheslav Kozlov, sorry, John Ogrodnik, Bob Probert, Paul Eiserbart, Fedorov, Primo Selinger, Eiserman, Cicerelli, Drake, Kennedy, and Ray Shepard. So, yeah, that's a pretty good team. Alright, let's see what we do here. They're going to send Tim Chevaldet in net. We are going to go with Wendell Young. And we lost 42. That was kind of expected for that game. So we were outshot 49-19, so we were never truly in this game. Sean Burr was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Alexander Karpovtsev was a 2nd star with a goal, so that was his first NHL goal, scored with us here. And then Zino Cicerelli was the 3rd star with a goal and an assist. The game was in Tampa Bay, and we had 8,794 people in attendance. First goal of the game was scored by Karpovtsev, assisted by Brent Gretzky, and it was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Detroit tied the game, but a little bit over a minute later, Bobby Alec scored his 2nd goal here from Tim Berglund. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay, but a little bit over a minute later, Detroit tied the game again, so it was tied at 2 after 2. And then Detroit scored 2 more goals in the 3rd period, and they ran away with the victory. So it is a 4-2 loss here against the Detroit Red Wings. I'm hoping to win the next game. It's going to be against Ottawa. Hopefully I can beat them. Alright, so Dmitry Kvartalnov has a good game with Boston. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Buffalo Sabres. And Bradley actually might be back against the Sens. That would be pretty good. Well, Ottawa's doing worse than us, believe it or not. So hopefully we can win that game. I have high hopes here. Alright, Greg Smith is back from suspension in Calgary, back in the lineup. Jeremy Roenick's assist streak ended at 8 games, so he did get a goal against the Blues, but no assists from him. Chris Chelios is back from suspension in Chicago, and Ulf Dallin has a great game with Minnesota. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Jets. Alright, so Ottawa is in town. We don't have Brian Bradley back for this game. Maybe tomorrow against Calgary, I don't know. But Ottawa is in town right now, so Ottawa is 1-15 so far this season. That's pretty much on par to the season they had in real life, where they only got 10 wins in their first season. Let's take a look here, see what they have. Maybe they changed their team a little bit. Oh, the goaltenders are rated a little bit higher than they used to in previous iterations of the game. So Peter Sidorkowitz and Daniel Bertium in net. Yeah, that's not that strong anyway. Ken Hammond. Oh, Dave. Dean Kolstad. Norm McIver. Darren Rumble. Sergei Fokin. Gordonine. Dominic Lavoie and Bradshaw on D. Then up front we have Richard Crum, Jeff Lazaro, Doug Smale, Sylvain Turgeon, Dave Archibald, Jamie Baker, Laurie Boschman, Neil Brady, Mark Freer, Mike Lam, Rob Murphy, Alexei Yashin, and Jody Hall. Yeah, we're a little bit better than them, at least on paper. Well, in the standings too. Alright, we need a win here. Come on, Lightning. Alright, Daniel Bertium in net for the Sens. We're going to go with Wendell Young again. Oh yeah, we won 7-0. Finally, a convincing win. We had to play against the Ottawa Senators for it to happen, but it did happen. Alright, so 7-0 victory. We outshot Ottawa 38-30 in that game. Wendell Young had an incredible game. He had 30 saves, the first star, the W in the shutout. Rob Zamuner was the second star with 2 goals and an assist, and Rob DeMaio was the third star with 2 goals. 9,690 people in Tampa Bay came to watch this incredible game. So Bobby Olick opened up the scoring in the first period on the power play from Mikael Anderson, and then Rob DeMaio scored from Rob Zamuner and Sean Chambers, and then Bobby Olick scored again on the power play from Danton Cole. And just like that, it was 3-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Rob Zamuner scored his 5th of the season from Sean Chambers, made it 4-0 Tampa Bay after 2. And then in the third period, Rob Zamuner scored from Mark Bergevin, and then Adam Creighton from Tim Berglund and Rob Ramage, and then Rob DeMaio from Tim Berglund and Mike Hartman made it 7-0. And that was a trouncing of my favorite team, the Ottawa Senators. Ken Hodge converts to right wing. Thank you, buddy. I needed that. Alright, and we are playing another game tomorrow, so I'm going to start Jablonski in net for that one. Alright, so Mike Ramsey has been put on waivers. I don't really need him, so he's a little bit on the older side than what I want. Alright, so Brian Bradley back, that's very good news. I also have to put Jablonski in net, so again, we are pausing the game so I can fix my lines. And we are back again. Alright, I'm sending Basil McRae down to make room for Brian Bradley, and I decided to scratch Mark Bureau because Bobby Olick has been playing pretty good. So Bobby Olick is now going to be centering our second line there. And I've put Brent Gretzky on the 4th line and moved Adam Creighton up to the 3rd line. So we're going to go ahead and see what that does for us. So let's go ahead and play the game against Calgary, just making sure I've put Pat Jablonski in net. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's play against Calgary. Oh, almost went too fast. Okay, so Calgary is 8-9-2 this season, so that's good for 7th in the Campbell Conference. We haven't played the Flames so far. So what do we have here? Oh, okay, so Gary Suter is hurt. As we saw, he got hurt in the first game of the season. Chris Dahlquist is also hurt, and Paul Cruz is also hurt. So those players are not playing this game. Frank Musil is also hurt, but he may play, and Michel Petit is still suspended, so he's not going to be playing this game. All right, so in net, we have Bruce Ressin and Mike Vernon. It's Alexander, I think, his name. Yeah, Alexander Godiniak is on D. Johansson, Yanni, Musil, McInnes, Petit, and Smith. Yeah, Pascal McInnes, that's not a great D, especially with Gary Suter hurt. Lindbergh, Ranheim, Roberts, Nieuwendyk, Otto, Reichel, Wilson, Drury, Harkins, Fleury, Forslund, Gary Lehman, Sergei Makarov, and Ronnie Stern are up front. So I think we have an outside shot at maybe winning against Calgary. I guess we'll see. Alright, so the Flames are going to send Mike Vernon in net, and we are going to go with Pat Jablonski. Nope, we lost 4-1. Alright, so Calgary outshot us 45-30. Joe Nieuwendyk was the first star of the game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Al McInnes was the second star with 2 assists, and Robert Reichel was the third star with a goal and an assist. We only had 9,200 people in attendance for this game. Alright, so Calgary scored first in the first period, and that was 1-0 Calgary after 1. Then in the second period, Rob DeMaio scored his 5th goal of the season from Bobby Alick and Chris Contos, made it 1-1. But then Calgary scored 2 more goals before the end of the second period. It was 3-1 Calgary after 2. There was a fight also in the second period. Mike Hartman and Al McInnes thought, wow, Hartman took McInnes out of the game for 5 minutes. That's pretty good. That was pretty good for us at that time. Then there was then Calgary scored again in the third period, make it 4-1, and we had another fight in the third. Joe Rickey and Ronnie Stern got at it near the end of the game. So yeah, it's another game where we tried but couldn't quite succeed. There was no stopping Joe Nieuwendyk in that game against us. As we saw, he got a hat-trick. There was no stopping Doug Gilmour, who had 3 goals and an assist against Boston. Todd Gill in Toronto is back from suspension, back in the lineup over there. Jeremy Roenick extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against Minnesota. Oh, Kurt Muller is hurt in Montreal. Oh, I thought it was for 2 months. It's only for 2 weeks. Sorry. I don't know what was going on there. Okay, he has a concussion, and Kurt Muller is out for 2 weeks. Okay. A great night for Zygmunt Palffy. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against Buffalo. Kelly Kisio is back from suspension in San Jose. And Gerard Scaldi in New Jersey is suspended. He's going to miss 1 game. Oh, and Mike Ramsey got claimed by the Oilers. Alright, so we are not playing for a couple days, so our players can rest a little bit. Some of them are a little tired, so they get to rest for a few days. That's not a bad thing. Jeremy Roenick extends his point streak to 13 games. He had an assist against the Minnesota North Stars again. Looks like they had a home and home. Alright, so Doug Crossman should be back soon. Alright, so another day off, and then we are hosting the Winnipeg Jets. Good night for Trevor Linden in Vancouver. He had 4 assists against the Kings. Alright, so Doug Crossman has now a playable injury. I'm still not going to play him. I don't want for him to get injured further. He is pretty much our best defenseman. So let's try to keep him healthy if we can help it. Alright, so now the Winnipeg Jets are in town, and yet again, it's a team we have not faced this season. So the Jets are 10-6-2. That is good for second in the Campbell Conference. Let's take a look at their lineup. No injuries there in Winnipeg. So Bob Essensa and Rick Tabaracci are in net, so that's not a super great tandem. But despite that, they've been winning games. Randy Carlyle, Phil Housley, Mike Layler, Dean Kennedy, Teppo Numinen, Frederick Lawson, and Rudy Postchek on D. So that's a decent D for sure. Numinen, Housley, and Olason are pretty good. Andy Brickley, Shannon, Keith Kitchuk, Barnes, Barsato, Draper, Eagles, Elmanen, Murray, Olchuk, Steen, Zamnov, Drews, and Selani. Alright. We are about to play the Jets. Rick Tabaracci in net for the Jets. We are going to go with Wendell Young. He had a shutout in his last game, so let's see if he can do something about it again this time. We lost 5-4, so another game that we came close but just couldn't pull the trigger. We actually outshot Winnipeg 36-27, so as far as, you know, generating offense, I think I have the right tactics for that, but we are just not able to pull victories. We're not getting shut out as much as we did, you know, in October. Teemu Selänne was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Brian Bradley celebrated his return. Well, that was 2 games ago, 1 game ago, but still, he had a goal and 2 assists. And the second star, and Thomas Steen was the 3rd star with an assist. 9,220 people in attendance for that game in Tampa Bay. So Winnipeg scored first in the first period, then Mikael Anderson tied the game 30 seconds later from Brian Bradley and Danton Cole. Then Winnipeg scored again to take the lead, and then Brian Bradley tied the game a minute and 43 seconds later from Mark Bergevin and Danton Cole, and it was tied at 2 after 1. And then Mikael Anderson scored in the second period from Mark Bergevin and Brian Bradley. And then Chris Conto scored from Ken Hodge. It was 4-2 Tampa Bay at that point, but Winnipeg scored 2 goals before the end of the second, made it 4-4 after 2. Then finally in the third period, Winnipeg scored, made it 5-4, and we could never tie the game, and we lost by 1 goal again. It's better than by losing by shutout every single game or so, so I guess that's progress. Jeremy Roenick's point streak ended at 13 games. He was held scoreless against the Wings. Suspension for Jaromir Jagr. Oh, alright, he's gonna miss 3 games. Ron Francis in that same game had a good game, and he had a hat-trick against Buffalo. Dave Ellett has a memorable game in Toronto. He had 4 assists against Quebec. And Doug Crossman is primed to return. Alright, so we will put him back in the lineup, so you know what that means. I am going to pause the video real quick, and I will be right back. And back again. Alright, so we are about to play Minnesota. Craig Janney extends his goal streak to 5 games. He scored a goal against the Waiters. Memorable game for Ross Courtnall. He had a goal and 4 assists against Washington. Prolific passing night for Ulf Dahlen in that same game. He had 4 assists. And strong game for Mike Modano in that same game as well. He had 4 goals and an assist. Pretty good. Alright, who do I have in net? Alright. So we are now facing the Minnesota North Stars, who just had a great game. They are 11-6-2, which is good for 3rd in the Campbell Conference, and we are 0-1 against Minnesota this season. We lost 1-0 against them last month. Alright, so Jeff Moen is going to be in net for the North Stars, and Wendell Young in net for us. And we lost 5-2. So we're not doing very good. We're definitely not on pace to have the type of season that Tampa Bay had in their inaugural season in real life. I'm not that worried about it, though. So Minnesota outshot us 33-31. Craig Ludwig was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Richard Medvedchuk was the second star of the game. He had 2 assists as well. And then Neil Broughton was the third star with a goal and an assist. 8,938 people in attendance for this game. So Minnesota scored first in the first period, and then Adam Creighton scored short-handed from Rob Zamuner. It was tied at 1 at that point, but the North Stars added 2 more goals before the end of the first period, and it was 3-1 Minnesota after 1. Then they scored again in the second period, made it 4-1, and then in the third period, Adam Creighton scored his second goal of the game from Ken Hodge and Chris Contos. It was 4-2 Minnesota at that point, and then a little bit later, about 10 minutes later, Minnesota scored again, made it 5-2, so we never really were quite in the game, although we did get our shots on goals. So something tells me my offensive strategies are probably not too far off. We just don't really have any finishers on the team. Yanni Oyanen is available on waivers. I am not picking him up. A night to remember for Joey Junot in Boston. He had a hat-trick against the Islanders. Suspension over for Michel Petit with Calgary. He is back in the lineup. Dino Ciccarelli extends his SS streak to 8 games with 2 assists against the Jets. And Steve Duchesne extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist against Montreal. Alright, so we have, 5 games left, and of course the last game is going to be a gameplay game, and it's going to be on the road against Edmonton, so that's going to be that at that point. Alright, so Dino Ciccarelli's assist streak ended at 8 games. He had 2 goals, too, against the Capitals. Oh, that's a big trade. Wow. Now, that, folks, is why I love to play historical. Alright, so the Kings and the Canucks made a deal where Pavel Bure is going to LA, and in return the Canucks get Luc Robitaille. Wow. That sure changes the face of those 2 teams. Those are 2 pretty prolific wingers. Alright, so we are now playing in St. Louis. St. Louis is now 9-9-2. They are 6th in the conference. And we are 0-2 against St. Louis, including a pretty disappointing 8-0 loss earlier this month. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Blues today. Wendell Young in net for us, Guilleberg in net for the Blues. And we lost 3-2 in overtime. So again, losses in overtime in 1992 don't give you a point. It's just a regular loss. Alright, St. Louis outshot us 45-34 in that game. Garth Butcher was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Rob Zamuner was the second star with a goal. And Philippe Bozon was the third star with a goal as well. So we open up the scoring in the first period. That was Rob Zamuner scoring from Bobby Elick, and then Mikael Anderson scored his 5th on the power play from Joe Rickey and Doug Crossman. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay at that point, but 50 seconds later, St. Louis scored and made it 2-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, St. Louis tied the game at 2. And then nobody scored in the third, and then in overtime, Garth Butcher played the hero with the overtime winner, and the Blues won 3-2. Open ice leads to a productive night for Al McInnes, who had a goal and 4 assists against the Islanders. Steve Duchesne extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal and an assist against Hartford. Teemu Selanne extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Rangers. And the San Jose players reinstating the Team Kangaroo Court. So there has been talk of several members of the Sharks reinstating the long-dormant Kangaroo Court in the team's dressing room. There's too much horsing around and too many unwritten rules getting broken. Someone's got to step up and make these guys accountable again, said team leader Kelly Kisio with a wide smile on his face. I'm nominating myself as a judge, jury, and executioner. Alright, so if it's like in Franchise Hockey Manager 6, that means that a younger player is going to step on the team's logo in the dressing room, and Kelly Kisio is going to give him a fee or a fine for that. Alright, so Kurt Giles is available. I'm not going to pick him up. There was no stopping Pele Ekloun, who had a hat-trick for the Flyers against Buffalo. And we are going to be playing in Detroit now. Detroit is 15-5-1 now. They are first in the conference. And we are 0-1 against them. We lost 4-2 against them earlier this month, so let's go ahead and see if we can manage to contain them a little bit. Wendell Young in net for us, Tim Chevalier in net for the Wings, and we lost 3-1. At least we didn't get completely massacred, but again, we cannot win. Oh, we were outshot 40-14 in that game, so Detroit showed their superiority there pretty easily. Steve Eiserman was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Ken Udge was the second star with an assist, and Zino Cicerelli was the third star with 2 assists. So Detroit scored first in the first period, and it was 1-0 Detroit after 1. They scored again in the second period, made it 2-0 Detroit after 2. And then they scored again in the third period, made it 3-0, but then about a minute later, Adam Creighton scored his 5th from Ken Udge, and it was 3-1, but it was too little too late. We just were not strong enough to tie the game against the powerhouse that Detroit is. Jaromir Jagr is back from suspension in Pittsburgh. Alright, so we are now going to be playing in Toronto, and I need to put Jablonski in that. Alright, so in Toronto, the Leafs are 11-8-1 right now. They are 5th in the conference. We are 0-2 against Toronto this season. A win here would be pretty neat. Alright, so Jablonski in net, Grant Fuhr in net for the Leafs. And we lost 6-1. That's not good. Oh, again, we were completely dominated. Toronto outshot us 51-17. Doug McElwain was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Dmitry Mironov was the second star with a goal. And Nikolai Borchevsky was the third star with a goal and an assist. So we opened up the scoring, actually, in the first period. Brian Bradley scored on the power play from Danton Cole and Doug Crossman. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay at that point, but after that it was all Toronto. They scored 4 goals in the second period, and then 2 more in the third, and that was it. We lost 6-1. Teemu Selanne extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal and 2 assists against the Islanders. Alright, we're going to put Wendell Young back in net. He's really our only hope of winning a game as far as goaltenders go. Alright, so we have a couple days off, so he's going to get to rest a little. Steve Eiserman has racked up 400 goals in his career with a goal and an assist. Against the Blues. So 27 years old, Steve Eiserman, 5-star player, of course. John Leclerc extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist against the Whalers. And a strong night for Ray Bourque, who had a goal and 4 assists against the Washington Capitals. Doug Crossman is injured again. What happened? We weren't even playing, dude. Lacerated finger. I'm gonna let him play with that. He's wearing gloves. He should be fine. Alright, someone got busted. Jeff Hackett pays for his mishap. So how old is Hackett? Yeah, 24. Alright, so apparently the San Jose Kangaroo Court really is in effect. Youngster Jeff Hackett was fined by Judge Kelly Kisio for the seemingly harmless infraction of stepping on the team logo in the middle of the locker room floor. That's a big no-no, Kisio said. Come on, you should know better than that. Walk around the logo. Other teammates agreed as Hackett hung his head in shame and grudgingly forked over the money. Let this serve as a lesson, added Kisio. Don't mess with the Kangaroo Court or you will pay. Oh. Alright. So we are playing in Calgary for a quick game here. So the Flames are 11-10-2. That's good for 7th in the conference. We are 0-1 against the Flames this season. Let's go ahead and see if we can beat them then. And then that's going to be the last game of the month against Edmonton, which I'm going to show the 2D gameplay again. And we are going to have Pat Jablonski in net, so that's going to be kind of interesting. Alright, so Wendell Young in net again, Mike Vernon in net for the Flames. And we lost 8-2. Alright, so Calgary outshot us 41-22. Trent Hiani was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 3 assists. Michel Petit was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Chris Lindbergh was the third star with 2 goals. Alright, we open up the scoring in the first period. Danton Cole scored on the power play from Mikael Anderson and Brian Bradley. And then the Flames tied the game, but then we scored again. Mikael Anderson scored on the power play as well from Danton Cole and Brian Bradley. 2-1 Tampa Bay at that point. Calgary tied the game at 2. So it was tied at 2 after 1. And then after that, it was all Calgary. They scored twice in the second period, made it 4-2. And 4 more times in the third period, made it 8-2. By that point, I think we were just tired of playing hockey altogether. It's been a tough month. Cam Neely has tallied 300 goals in his career. With a goal against Hartford. So Cam Neely, 27 years old, still a 4.5-star player. Zeno Cicarelli extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal and an assist against the Kings. And Teemu Selanne extends his goal streak to 7 games with 2 goals and 2 assists against the Sharks. Alright. So I need to put Pat Jablonski in net. Alright, and this is the last game of the month, not season. And we are facing the Edmonton Orders. They are 10-13 this season. That's good for 10th in the conference. And it's one of the teams that we actually have beaten. We won 6-3 against them earlier this season. So let's see if we can beat them with Pat Jablonski in net. Now, the last time, the last video when I did a 2D game, it ended as a 0-0 game. So hopefully we get to see some goals today. Alright, so we're going to have Pat Jablonski in net. The Oilers are going to go with Ron Tugnutt. Hopefully I start cheering for the right team right off the bat. That was a little embarrassing, but hey. I'm not ashamed of myself. I can make fun of me. Alright, so the game is in Edmonton. I need to make the game faster. Oh, okay, it kept my settings there. Alright, so let's go ahead and play. Alright, so I'm in white. Come on. Oh, he was behind the net. I thought he was in the net with the puck. I was like, that's a go. Oh. Alright. We managed to stop the puck. Oh. We need to play strong defense in front of Jablonski. He's not a super good goaltender. Oh, that pass missed, and that's going to be an icing. Oh, little guy. Oh, oh. No, that was a stop. I had a good opportunity there. Oh, Joe Rickey here, that's playing tight defense, not letting their guy. Oh, he threw the puck in the corner. That's cool. That's actually a strategy that goaltenders do in real life, sending the puck in the corner as much as they can because it's one of the least threatening spots on the ice. Which is probably something I'm going to talk about when I do my little tutorial videos. So stay tuned for those if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and that's something you're interested in. Make sure you subscribe so that you see when I publish those again. Oh, a goal! Ken Hudge, goal! And the little referee there is pointing. Awesome. So we did see some goals this time, and we are up 1-0 here against the Orders. Alright, continue to play good defense, guys. That's how we're going to win games. We don't have an offensive juggernaut. Our first line is barely capable of doing things. Oh, we shot wide, I think. Oh. The goalie holds the puck. Tugnut holds the puck. Uh-oh. Nice. We're doing there's a lot of shots from a long distance when you sim like that. Oh. Ah. Yeah, we're playing decent defense. We're stopping a lot of their offensive forays. I like that. Oh! We got a few shots there. Uh-oh. That's a breakaway. Oh, a save from Jablonski. Awesome. Oh, no, a breakaway. Oh, no, he was cut up. Number 5 for the Orders. I wonder if it's Mike Ramsey. They picked him up on the waivers. Could be Craig Muni. Probably is Craig Muni. Wait, Craig Muni was number 6, I think. I guess I can see after the next period. Mike Ramsey might not even be playing. Oh, it hit the net. I thought it was in. I thought we just allowed a goal. Oh, Scott Mellenby took a penalty. All right, so did it? Yeah, 5 is Mike Ramsey. Okay. All right, I was right. Look at me. Alright, so Scott Mellenby took a penalty, so we are going on the power play, guys. We need to... Well, I should say folks, just in case there's ladies listening to this. Yeah, we're on the power play. Make it show. Oh, goal! Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Roman Amerdick and Brian Bradley. We are up 2-0 here against the Orders. Alright, hopefully we can hold it. A few games this month, we couldn't hold our leads, which was a problem that showed up from time to time. So hopefully we can hold on to this lead here. So 2-0. Oh, not going super fast there. 7 should be Rob Zamuner. Oh, save by Tugnut. And the first period is over. We are up 2-0. We had 11 shots. They had 7. Alright, so let's get going with the second period. Tampa Bay up 2-0 in Edmonton here against the Orders. Alright. We are still in white. of course. We didn't start our first line. Now we have our first line on the ice. I think we blocked that shot. Alright. Come on. Come on. Oh, Crossman. Oh. No. No goal. Uh-oh. Roman Amerlik took a slashing penalty here. Look at that referee. I like the little referee. He, that's showing like the right signs and everything. That's kind of cool. Would be even better if it's animated, but hey, I'm taking the little picture. That's also fine. At the stage where the franchise of, franchise hockey manager hockey is, we're just gonna take the little picture for now. Sean Chambers also took a penalty, so interference. Now it's a 5-on-3 for Edmonton. That's not good. They have a really good chance of scoring here. Come on, clear the puck. Good job. Uh-oh. It's a 2-on-1. Oh, we stopped that. Oh, come on, man. Doug Crossman slashed somebody. That's not good. Dude, we need to stop taking penalties. Come on. It's 5-on-4. It doesn't... Okay, I guess. I'm not too sure what happened there. Oh, unsportsmanlike conduct. Craig Simpson took a penalty. Alright, we are going on the power play. Let's score another power play goal, shall we? It was nice when it happened the first time. Oops, sorry, my mouse cursor is all over the place. The puck hits the net again. Alright, that's an icing. Alright, they killed the penalty. We couldn't score. Alright, another save by Jablonski. Good job. Oof. No. Goalie holds the puck. Good job. Alright, come on, Udge. No. We just couldn't take the puck away from him, but Jablonski held on it. Oh, that guy is just skating along the blue line. Oh, come on, buddy. Alright. Sean Chambers took another penalty. I'm not liking the amount of penalties we're taking in this game. Gonna need to crack on the discipline stick. Oh, Jablonski's playing the game of his career. Oh god, another penalty. Rob Zamuner. Guys, come on. At least act like you want to win this game. Alright, 5-on-3. Jablonski holds on the puck. Ugh. At least we made it. We made the puck go all the way to center ice. Edmonton scored. Craig Simpson, assisted by Bernie Nichols. We're still up 2-1 with 5:13 left to go in the second period. Come on, take the puck. Oh, that's an icing. Alright, good opportunity here to maybe get the puck and get a shot on goal or something. Oh, well, They took a hooking penalty, so we're going on the power play. That's a good opportunity. Let's score here. Oh, they stole the puck. And Roman Amerlik destroys our power play here by taking a penalty. I'm not liking it. I don't have my strategies to be super aggressive. I mean, up tempo, yes, but not like slash everybody in the throat type of aggressive. Alright, so the Orders really came back stronger here in the second period. So, oh yeah, they are now leading in the shots 28-14. We were up, what, 11-7? Something like that after the first period. So we got like, what, 3 shots? And they got like 21. So yeah, we need to play a little bit better here. Come on, guys. Show some tennis. Show some willingness to win. Roman Amerlik took a tripping penalty. That's not willingness to win. That's not what I mean by that. Feels like poor Pat Jablonski's left to himself. Like, we had a really good start to the game, and now it's like we're struggling to just touch the puck. Ah, stupid mouse cursor, sorry. Oh, and it's a goal. The Oilers just tied a game. Craig Simpson again from Peter Clement, Bernie Nichols. Alright, game is tied at 2. Alright, we need to produce go back to producing a little bit of offense here. Oh. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm already defending here. Alright, doing a good job. Oh, we did get a shot there. Oh, Marc Bergevin took a penalty. Yeah, we're starting to really struggle here. I guess maybe we're tired. We did play yesterday, so I guess we're tired. So now we're starting to reach with our sticks and whatnot and getting penalties. Oh, now it's them. Scott Mellenby took a penalty. Alright. Let's score on the power play here, guys. Please. Let's not take a penalty and... Oh, it's 4-on-4 for a little bit. We're not done. Alright, now we're on the power play. Come on. Uh-oh. Ah, that was a decent chance, I guess. Not sure why he went and held the puck there. That's going to be icing. Okay. 8:48 to go in the third period. We're still tied at 2 here in Edmonton. The Tampa Bay Lightning looks tired. They played yesterday in Calgary. They don't seem to have enough energy to sustain any attack. Come on, come on. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Good save by Jablonski. At least that's how I pictured it in my mind. But it was a breakaway and he stopped it with like 5 minutes left to go in the third. So yeah. Come on. A little bit of boost. We're doing that a lot. Like we're getting in the zone and then we're passing back outside of the zone. That's a little weird. Oh, it's on the top of the net. Oh, goal! Who scored? Mike Hartman scored from Roman Amerlik and Bobby Olick. Yeah. There you go. So we scored with 2:47 left to go in the third period. Are we going to be able to hold on to our lead? Maybe. It is so exciting. We actually might win a hockey game and we're watching it. No. I jinxed us. I'm so sorry. Alright, Craig McTavish just tied the game from Scott Mellenby and Esa Tikkanen. 2:27 left to go in the third period. We are now tied at 3. We have so many problems generating offense. It's going to be difficult. Uh-oh. Man, that was hard to get the puck away from Craig Simpson. Alright, so we are going to overtime. So far, the Oilers got 40 shots. We got 19. Yeah, we're pretty lucky to get all the way to overtime. Alright, who knows? Alright, so again, 5-on-5. In overtime back in 1992, so, and of course there's ties and whatnot. Oh, Martin Gilina hooked, and we are going on a power play here in overtime with 2:34 left to go in overtime. So for almost the remainder of the overtime period, we are going to be having a power play unless we score, of course. Uh-oh, breakaway, that's not good. Good. We stopped that. Oh, it's a stop. Oh, we got the puck back, and we lost it again. 30 seconds to go. Oh, Rob DeMaio just took a penalty with 24 seconds left to go in overtime. There's no shootouts or anything like that, so if they don't score before the end here, there's going to be a tie. Greg Allgood just took a penalty with 5 seconds left to go. So something tells me that it's going to end in a tie. Yep. Alright, so it's a tie. So both of my games that I've shown like that have ended up in ties. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and look again and reiterate what happened here in the game. So Ken Hodge scored unassisted in the first, and then Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Roman Amerlik and Brian Bradley. It was 2-0 since... oh boy, no, 2-0. 2-0 Tampa Bay. Wow, old habits here. Then Edmonton scored in the second period, and then they scored in the third, and then we scored. Mike Hartman scored from Roman Amerlik and Bobby Olick. But then Craig McTavish scored 21 seconds later, tied the game. It went in overtime. Nobody scored, and that was it. All right, so Chris Chelios is out with a sprained wrist, and he is going to miss 3 weeks. There was no stopping Pierre Turgeon, who had 4 goals against the Flyers. Ron Francis has reached 300 goals in his career with a goal against Washington. 29 years old, Ron Francis, 5-star player. Rich Sutter in St. Louis is suspended. He's going to miss 4 games. Dino Ciccarelli extends his point streak to 13 games with a goal and 2 assists against the Blues. In that same game, Steve Eiserman extended his point streak to 12 games with 2 assists. And Paul Coffey has a memorable game playing for the Kings. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Leafs. Right, and as usual, I am going to sim until the 1st of the month. No further discipline for Ottawa's Sylvain Turgeon. He is not suspended. Pat Lafontaine extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals and an assist in that game against Ottawa. Alright, and then this is the scouting update. So it looks like they have listened to me. Well, not necessarily to me, maybe other people brought it too, but that was something that I had asked, is that instead of having scouting reports like every day of the month almost, to consolidate them into one. And it looks like that's what they might have, it looks like that's what they've done. I like that. Alright, so one more click. Right, so Marc Fortier is available on waivers, and Dave Capuano is as well, not picking them up. Dino Ciccarelli extends his point streak to 14 games with 2 goals and an assist against the Capitals. Steve Eiserman extends his point streak to 13 games with a goal and 3 assists against the Capitals as well. Pat Lafontaine extends his goal streak to 6 games with 2 goals and 2 assists against Montreal. Red light stays on for Cam Neely in Boston. He had a hat-trick against Quebec. And the players of the month were Dino Ciccarelli and Tom Barrasso. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our stats. We're not doing all that great, but we're still going to look. So our 2 best players have 12 points each. So Brian Bradley, he did that in 19 games. The other one is Danton Cole. He did that in 27 games. Not a whole lot much more to report. It is an abysmal season here in Tampa Bay. Now if we look at the rest of the league, Teemu Selanne is the best goal scorer with 27 goals so far. Mario Lemieux is the best passer with 34 assists so far. And he is also the best scorer with 55 points. Joe Sakic is second with 50. And Wayne Gretzky has 47 so far. Alright, that's what's to report so far here. I'm going to go ahead and save the game. My videos are definitely a lot longer than they used to be. With all of the line changing and everything. I'm gonna keep it like that for now. If you have suggestions or anything that you would like, just let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and call this a video. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.